Imagine your brain is just running at like 100 miles an hour.
Oh, yeah, just totally racing.
Right. And your body is desperately trying to pull the emergency brake. Like, picture trying to drive a car with your foot just slammed on the gas.
But the parking brake is permanently jammed on.
Exactly. If you aren't careful, I mean, you are not going to go faster. You are just going to completely destroy the engine.
Yeah. And that is the exact cosmic collision you were walking into this week.
So, welcome back to Horoscope TV.
Yeah.
I am so thrilled you are here with us for this episode. If you are a Virgo or, if you have a special Virgo in your life, you're going to want to pay very close attention to this.
You really are. It is important.
We are looking at your specific forecast for the week of April 13th to April 19th, 2026. And let me tell you right out of the gate, you need to tune in today because this is not your normal quiet week. Not even close.
No, definitely not. The astrological charts are showing huge, fast-moving changes and a massive boost in your energy.
We are talking about the kind of week that can completely shift your path. But, with all that speed, you really need a plan.
Right. Listening to this episode is going to give you the exact roadmap you need to handle this intense speed without crashing.
Because we want to help you use this rare power to improve your career, your love life, and your bank account.
It was so important to have a map for this week. When we analyze the astro charts and track the movements happening above us, I mean, the sheer amount of activity is staggering.
It is a lot, right?
It is. There's a ton of power available to you right now, but power without a plan is just chaos.
Totally. And our mission today is to break down these sky patterns and translate what they mean for your everyday life in plain, simple English.
Exactly. Keep it simple.
So we are going to start by looking at your mind and your workplace because it makes sense to start here. When we look at the early part of the week, the earliest and most electric shifts in the charts happen in how you, as a Virgo, think and create.
Let's start with April 13. The charts show Mars meeting Neptune.
Now, usually, when people think of a Virgo at work, they picture someone with, like, a checklist.
Oh, yeah. A checklist, a neat desk.
Right, and a very organized step-by-step plan. But these charts say you are going to get hit with a wave of creativity and a real push to chase big dreams at your job. So how does that actually happen?
Well, to really understand this, we have to look at the personalities of these two planets.
Okay.
Think of Mars as a warrior. It is the planet of action, courage, and fire. It is the engine that drives us forward. It just wants to go, go, go.
Right. Mars is all about the push.
Exactly. Now, Neptune is completely different. Neptune is the planet of dreams, imagination, and deep waters. It is like an ocean covered in fog.
Wow. Okay.
Usually fire and water do not mix. But when we say they meet on April 13th, it means they're lining up in the exact same spot in the sky.
Like right on top of each other.
Yes, their energies are mixed completely together. Imagine looking at a clock where both the hour and minute hands are stacked perfectly on the 12.
But wait, if you mix the fire of Mars with the water of Neptune, wouldn't they just cancel each other out? Like, wouldn't the water just put out the fire?
Yeah, that is a really good point, actually. But think about what happens when you put fire underwater.
Oh, you get steam.
You get steam, and steam is incredibly powerful. I mean, it powers trains, it drives engines. So on April 13, your normal, hardworking Virgo energy gets powered by this steam.
So you aren't just crossing tasks off a list anymore.
Not at all. You are feeling deeply inspired. The fog of Neptune gives you a vision of a bigger picture for your career, like maybe a dream you have been too afraid to chase.
And the fire of Mars gives you the actual courage to step up and chase it. I love that image. It is like you finally have the engine power to move your biggest dreams forward.
Yeah, but then things speed up even more.
Right. Let's look at April 14th. Because the charts show Mercury connecting to Uranus. And the astro data says this brings sudden, brilliant ideas that will seriously impress your bosses or your clients.
Yes. We always pay very close attention to Mercury when we look at a Virgo's chart because Mercury is your ruling planet. It acts as your boss.
So it controls the mind.
Exactly. It rules how we think, how we process details, and how we talk to people. Now, Uranus is the wild card of the solar system.
The wild card, okay.
Uranus is like a lightning bolt. It rules sudden changes, rebellion, and unexpected flashes of pure genius.
Oh, wow.
So when your ruling planet Mercury links up with the lightning bolt of Uranus on April 14, your brain is going to move at top speed.
So practically speaking, this is like sitting in a boring meeting where everyone is stuck on the same old problem and suddenly, out of nowhere, the perfect answer just drops into your head.
Exactly, yeah. It is a true aha moment. It is the kind of sudden idea that makes everyone else in the room stop, turn around, and listen to you.
That is amazing, but the sky doesn't stop there.
It really doesn't.
On April 15, the very next day, Mercury moves into the sign of Aries, and the moon also enters Aries on this exact same day. The charts say this pushes you to take immediate action and speak with total confidence in your meetings. Now, I have to admit, looking at April 14 and 15, it feels like a sudden lightning storm.
It is very intense, yes.
It is bright, it is powerful, and it is honestly a little shocking. You have all this speed, but here is my worry.
What's that?
If the charts say our minds are racing this fast and pushing us to take action right away, how do we make sure we don't just talk over everyone else in our meetings? Or like rush a good idea before it is completely baked?
You are hitting on the exact danger of this week. To analyze this correctly, we have to look at the zodiac signs involved.
Okay, break it down for us.
You are a Virgo. Virgo is an earth sign, and earth signs like to be careful. They like to feel the solid ground under their feet, you know?
Yeah, very practical and organized.
Right. But Aries is a fire sign. Aries is the very first sign of the zodiac. It acts like a newborn baby. It wants what it wants right now, and it will cry until it gets it.
Oh, wow. So no patience at all.
Zero patience. Aries does not want to wait. It wants to burst through the door and shout from the rooftops.
Okay, I see where this is going.
So when your ruling planet, Mercury and the moon, both move into this fiery Aries energy on April 15, it lights a massive fire under your usually careful, earthy nature.
Right. And for a Virgo, feeling out of control or moving too fast without a plan is usually a nightmare.
It is.
It might totally shock the people you work with, too. Like,
Yeah.
they're used to you being the calm, organized one. If you suddenly burst into the room making demands, they might not know how to handle you.
Precisely. You will feel a sudden urge to speak up instantly. But you do not want to burn bridges. You do not want to seem pushy or aggressive.
So how do you handle it?
Well, the advice hidden in the astrological charts is very simple, but very powerful. You need to carry a physical notebook with you everywhere you go on April 14 and 15.
A notebook? Really?
Yes.
This seems almost too simple for such a big cosmic event. How does the piece of paper help you manage a planetary lightning storm?
It is about the physical act of writing. When you get hit with that Aries fire and that Uranus lightning, your body fills with adrenaline. You want to speak instantly.
Because your brain is going a mile a minute.
Exactly. But when you force yourself to take out a pen and write the idea down on paper, you are doing something very specific. You are taking that fast, hot air and fire energy, and you are pulling it down into the physical, material world.
Okay, I follow you.
Paper comes from trees, right? Trees are the earth. By writing it down, you are using your natural Virgo earth energy to ground that Aries fire.
Oh, that is so interesting.
It slows your brain down just enough to process the adrenaline spike. It gives you a tiny second to breathe.
That makes so much sense. It is like you are building a lightning rod for your brain.
Yes.
You catch the electricity, but you safely guide it into the ground so it doesn't burn the house down.
That is a perfect way to put it. Then, when it is your turn to speak in the meeting, you can look at your notes.
So you still get to share the idea.
You share your brilliant ideas with all that fiery Aries confidence. But because you took a second to write it out, you won't lose your natural, organized charm. You get the best of both worlds.
Okay, so we know how to handle this fast electric energy taking over your mind at work. But all this mental speed naturally spills over into how you talk to the people you love.
Oh, absolutely. It affects everything.
We must look at how this same fiery energy affects your heart, your romantic relationships, and old feelings. Because an overactive electric brain can very easily lead to impulsive words in a relationship.
Yes, you have to be very mindful of that.
Let's look at the love forecast for the early part of the week. On April 13th, the charts show a very open, happy heart. There is a lucky connection between Venus and Jupiter that creates deep joy and warm feelings.
Such a nice energy.
And for our single listeners, the astro data says this is a perfect day to meet someone who shares your dreams.
Let's analyze these two planets. Venus is the planet of love. It rules beauty, attraction, and what we value in a partner.
And Jupiter.
Jupiter is the giant of the solar system. It is the planet of luck, growth, and big, happy rewards. Jupiter expands whatever it touches.
So when Venus and Jupiter link up in a friendly way, it is like the universe is handing you a beautiful, oversized gift.
Exactly. On April 13, you will literally feel a natural warmth in your chest. You will smile more easily. You will be much more open to talking to new people.
And because Neptune is also very active that day, remember we talked about Neptune bringing the fog and the big dreams at work?
Right, the steam.
Yeah. So that must mean you were not just looking for a quick casual date. You were open to something deeper.
Yes. Neptune makes you long for a soulmate connection. You are very open to meeting someone who truly understands your biggest dreams. You want someone who sees the magic in you.
It sounds so lovely and peaceful. But as I look ahead in the charts, I have to stop and push back here.
Oh, okay.
There is a very confusing flip in the astro data just a few days later. If April 13 is full of this lucky, warm soulmate joy, why does the universe suddenly drag up a painful old memory on April 16th?
Ah, yes, the 16th.
The charts say the sun meets Chiron in Aries, and this specific movement might bring up an old emotional hurt. Honestly, this feels like a trick.
It does feel that way, I know.
Why would the planets give you a happy, lucky day of love, only to hit you with old pain 3 days later? Doesn't that mean we are moving backward?
I completely understand why it looks that way. It feels very unfair. But we have to carefully analyze what Chiron actually represents in the charts.
Okay, what is Chiron?
In astrological charts, Chiron is known as the wounded healer. The story of Chiron comes from ancient myths. He was a centaur, half man, half horse, who was a great teacher and healer.
Well, he was wounded.
Yes, he suffered a wound that would never heal. So he spent his life helping others heal their pain, even though he carried his own. In your chart, Chiron represents the deepest hurts you carry. It is the baggage you try to hide.
So what happens when the sun meets Chiron on April 16th?
Well, the sun acts like a giant spotlight. It represents focus and bringing things into the daylight. When the sun stacks on top of Chiron in the fiery sign of Aries, that spotlight shines directly on an old emotional hurt. Yes, it might sting for a moment. You might suddenly remember a terrible breakup from years ago.
Or like a time a partner made you feel small.
Exactly, a moment you felt completely unlovable.
But why? I mean, why ruin a good week with a bad memory?
Because true healing is not just about feeling happy and smiling all the time. True healing requires you to bring a hidden hurt out of the dark.
Right, you can't just ignore it.
If you leave a wound in the dark, it gets infected. It secretly controls your behavior. It makes you put up walls when you meet someone new, even if you don't realize it.
Oh, wow.
The happy energy on April 13 opens your heart. It makes you feel safe. And because you feel safe, the universe says, okay, you are strong enough now. Let's look at this old pain and finally clean it out.
I see. It is like cleaning out a deep cut.
Yes.
It hurts terribly for a few seconds when you put the medicine on it, but you have to do it so it can finally heal and close up completely.
Exactly. The universe is not punishing you on April 16. It is giving you a chance to clear out the old pain so you can make room for better love. It is taking the heavy backpack off your shoulders.
And we see the immediate reward for this hard emotional work the very next day, right? Because on April 17, the moon enters Taurus.
Yes, we do.
And Taurus is another earth sign, just like Virgo, so that must feel very familiar to our listeners.
It feels like coming home. When the moon enters Taurus, the mood changes completely. Taurus is all about the physical senses.
Like touch and taste.
Touch, taste, and comfort. The Aries fire burns out, and you will just want to slow down. You will want to enjoy simple physical comforts with your partner.
So after crying or doing the hard emotional work on the 16th, April 17th is the day for putting on your softest clothes.
Yes, cooking a really nice heavy meal and just sitting quietly on the couch together.
It is simple, physical peace. It feels like a warm hug.
It really does. It is also a day to speak honestly so love can grow stronger. When you share the healing you just went through with your partner, or even just share it with yourself if you are single, it builds a very deep, unbreakable trust.
You have survived the storm, and now you are enjoying the quiet earth.
Beautifully said.
Now, building honesty and comfort in a relationship naturally leads us to thinking about another area of our lives where we really crave safety and security.
Oh yes, the wallet.
When we feel emotionally safe, we start looking at our physical safety. And that means talking about your money, your budget, and your physical resources.
Let's analyze the finances.
Let's talk about securing the bag this week. Because the charts show that the same lucky connection between Venus and Jupiter on April 13 that brought romantic joy might also bring a nice financial surprise.
It is a very generous aspect.
We are talking about something like a small cash bonus at work, or maybe a generous gift from a friend, but there is a strict warning here. Do not spend it all at once.
Yes, the temptation will be huge.
It makes sense. Emotional healing often triggers a desire for retail therapy. It is like finding a crisp $20 bill in the pocket of an old winter coat.
You just want to spend it.
The immediate reaction is to go buy something fun right away, treat yourself to a nice lunch, or buy a silly item online. But the charts tell us to hold on. Why?
Because Jupiter makes everything feel so grand and lucky. You feel rich on April 13. You feel like the money will just keep coming.
But it won't.
Well, you have to hold back because the real power moves for your money happen a few days later on April 16.
Right. On April 16, the charts show Mars connecting to Pluto. The astrodata says this offers you intense focus to rebuild a budget and find hidden ways to save cash.
Yes, this is huge.
I imagine this is like taking a magnifying glass to inspect your bank statements to find exactly where your money is leaking out. Tell us what Pluto is doing here. Pluto always sounds so scary.
Pluto does have a heavy reputation, but it is actually incredibly helpful if you use it right.
Okay, how so?
Pluto is the planet of the underworld. It is all about digging beneath the surface, finding hidden power, and transforming things. It wants to tear down old, rotten structures and build something stronger.
Wow, okay.
And Mars, as we know, gives you the energy and drive to take action. So when Mars and Pluto connect on April 16th, you become a financial detective. You are not just looking at the surface balance of your bank account. You are digging deep.
So this is the day you finally sit down and look at all those small monthly subscription charges you forgot about and cancel them.
Exactly. You will have the patience to go line by line. You will find hidden ways to save cash because your focus will be sharp like a laser.
That is so practical.
It is. The charts strongly favor the slow and steady approach this week over any get-rich-quick schemes. Pluto rewards deep, serious effort.
Slow and steady wins the race.
Yeah.
And that perfectly matches up with April 17 when the moon moves into Taurus.
Yes, back to the Taurus energy.
The focus completely shifts to building lasting security and buying things that hold true value. The charts warn to stay away from fast tricks and instead focus on slow, steady growth to keep the bank account entirely safe.
Let's analyze the energy of Taurus when it comes to money. Taurus is ruled by Venus, but it is an earth sign.
So it likes nice things, but practical things.
Exactly. Taurus loves nice things, but Taurus does not like cheap things that break quickly. Taurus hates wasting money. Taurus likes quality, weight, and history.
Makes sense.
So on April 17, if you are going to spend money, use that Taurus energy. Buy something practical that lasts for years.
Give me an example of a Taurus purchase versus an Aries purchase.
Okay, an Aries purchase is buying a flashy neon shirt because it looks cool for a party tonight, but it will fall apart in the wash tomorrow.
Very impulsive.
Yes. A Taurus purchase is buying a solid pair of leather winter boots that cost a little more upfront, but will keep your feet warm for the next 10 years.
Oh, I love that.
Invest in things that make your daily life feel secure and stable. If you buy things that hold true value, your bank account remains safe.
I think that is incredibly practical advice for a Virgo. So we have covered the mind racing with brilliant ideas. We have covered the heart going through deep healing to find true comfort. And we have covered the wallet getting a careful, serious review.
We have covered a lot.
But now, we must focus on the vessel that carries all of this through the week. We have to talk about your physical body. And this is perfectly timed with a major lunar event.
The new moon.
Yes, the astrodata says this week requires a very careful use of your high physical energy. Let's go back to the start of the week, April 13th. The charts show the moon enters Pisces, telling you to get enough rest and drink plenty of fresh water.
Yes, hydration and sleep.
Now, wait a minute. I have a big question about this timing.
Okay, what is it?
We have this roaring fire of energy building up all week. The mind is racing. Mars is pushing us to take action. Uranus is throwing lightning bolts. But on April 13, the chart tells us to just sit down, rest, and drink water.
It does seem contradictory.
Is the universe basically telling us to take a nap so we have enough fuel in the tank for the explosion later?
That is a very smart way to look at it, actually. Let's analyze the watery, calm nature of the Pisces moon.
Okay.
Pisces is a water sign. It is the very last sign of the zodiac. It is gentle, it flows, and it is very closely tied to our physical need for sleep, dreams, and recovery.
So it's very restorative.
Yes. Think of your body like a car. You cannot run a car without gas. With all the fiery Aries energy coming later in the week, April 13th is your required pit stop.
Oh, pit stop.
The universe is telling you to hydrate, to sleep early, to be quiet, because water puts out the fire, giving you a chance to gather your energy.
So if you skip the rest on the 13th and try to push through, what happens?
Oh, it's bad. If you do not rest on the 13th, you will completely burn out by the 17th. You will have a brilliant idea, but you will be too tired to speak up. Your body will just quit on you.
And we definitely cannot afford to burn out on the 17th because April 17 is the highly important new moon in Aries.
Yes. A huge event.
The charts say this gives a massive total fresh start. You will literally feel like you have a brand new body and spirit. It is the absolute best day of the month to launch a new business project, ask for a promotion, start a new workout routine, or begin a healthy diet program.
It really is.
Tell us about the new moon. What is actually happening in the sky?
Well, the new moon is always my favorite part of the astrological charts to talk about. A new moon happens when the sun and the moon are in the exact same place in the sky.
Stacking up again.
Exactly. Because they are stacked together, the moon does not reflect any light from the sun. The sky is dark. It is a completely blank slate.
So it represents an empty page waiting to be written on.
Exactly. It is the most powerful time in all of the astro data to plant seeds. And because this specific new moon happens in the sign of Aries, the very first sign of the zodiac, the sign of starting over, of pure fire and newborn energy.
The push to start fresh must be massive.
It is massive. Whatever new habits you start on April 17, these seeds have the absolute best chance of growing into something huge.
What kind of physical habits should a Virgo start on this day?
Anything that requires bravery and energy. If you have been wanting to start lifting weights but felt intimidated by the gym, April 17th is the day to walk in there with confidence.
Just own it.
Yes. If you want to start waking up an hour earlier to drink green juice and stretch, start on the 17th. Or, outside of health, if you want to launch a whole new side business, do it today. The energy of the universe is blowing entirely in your direction.
So we plant these seeds on the 17th, we start the new workout, we launch the business, and we are bursting with all this new, exciting energy. We feel unstoppable.
You will feel totally unstoppable.
But then we hit the end of the week, and we get a completely different lesson. We go from a green light to a red light.
Yes, a very sudden stop.
After launching big dreams on the new moon, it is time to test if those new plans are actually sturdy. We are hitting the brakes. Let's talk about the reality check on April 19th.
The 19th is tricky.
On this day, the charts show Mars meeting Saturn. This combination is a firm command to slow down and be responsible with all those big plans we just made.
Yes, the cosmic weather changes very, very quickly here.
The charts say you have incredible power, but you must use it wisely and stay very calm. At work, you must be ready to work hard and prove you are a reliable worker.
You have to put the work in.
And for your health, pushing too hard on this day could lead to stiff muscles or extreme tiredness. The advice is to stretch daily and listen closely to the body.
Absolutely.
This is where my analogy from earlier comes in. I look at April 19th like driving a Ferrari with the parking brake jammed on. You burst off the starting line on the new moon on the 17th, full of joy and speed.
Because of all that Aries fire.
Right. But by the 19th, Saturn acts like the parking brake. If you press the gas pedal too hard, you aren't going to go faster. You are just going to destroy the engine.
That analogy is absolutely perfect. Let's analyze this cosmic clash. We already talked about Mars.
Right, the gas pedal.
Mars is the planet of moving fast, stepping on the gas pedal, fighting, and taking action. But Saturn is the total opposite. Saturn is the planet of rules, limits, structure, time, and hard work.
Like a strict teacher.
Exactly. Think of Saturn's rings. They literally look like a boundary, a wall keeping things contained. Saturn is the brakes. When the gas pedal of Mars meets the brakes of Saturn on April 19, there is a lot of friction.
So wait, if Mars and Saturn happen at the same time, wouldn't that just spin the tires and burn rubber? You feel the urge to move forward, but the universe is holding you back. You get nowhere.
It can feel that way.
How do you actually move forward on April 19th without wrecking the car?
You have to understand the concept of controlled tension. Saturn is not trying to ruin your fun. Saturn is the great teacher. It wants to test your new projects to make sure they are built on a solid foundation.
It is making sure the house won't blow down in the first strong wind.
Yes. Think about it practically. If you started a new intense diet on the 17th, Saturn comes along on the 19th to ask, are you actually going to stick to this when you are tired and hungry?
It's testing your resolve.
Exactly. If you boldly ask for a promotion on the 17th, Saturn says on the 19th, okay, you got the title. Now prove you are willing to stay late and do the hard work required.
So it is a test of your commitment.
Yes. It is a day to be mature, take responsibility, do not rush. And physically, do not push your body past its limits.
So don't go lift the heaviest weights.
No. Mars wants you to lift the heaviest weight in the gym, but Saturn will snap your muscle if your form is bad. Stretch those muscles because your body will physically feel the tension of Saturn's heavy rules. Move slowly with perfect form.
Wow. Okay, so we have all this intense shifting energy happening inside of you.
Right.
But you do not live on a deserted island. You have to interact with other people.
Yeah, do.
And the way you interact with specific people this week will either help you succeed or cause you a lot of unnecessary stress. Let's talk about your cosmic companions.
Okay, let's look at the matches.
We are going to look at your best and worst matches for the week. First, the good news. The charts show your best match right now is a Capricorn.
A great match.
You share a beautiful energy and understand each other perfectly this week. On that big April 17 new moon, both of you will crave fun adventures.
Right.
The charts say Capricorn handles your intense passion without fear, adds a creative spark to your wild ideas, and makes you feel confident, happy, and appreciated. Why is Capricorn such a good match for Virgo right now?
Well, this makes perfect sense when we analyze the elements of the zodiac. Virgo and Capricorn are both earth signs. You naturally speak the exact same language.
You get each other?
You both value hard work, loyalty, practical results, and honesty. But remember, because you are having this highly active, fiery week full of Aries energy, you, the Virgo, might feel a little out of control.
Your brain is racing.
A Capricorn acts as the perfect solid rock for you.
Because they aren't getting hit with the same crazy fire energy.
Exactly. They're stable. So when you suddenly panic and say, I want to quit my job and start a bakery, a Capricorn won't panic.
They won't judge you.
No, they won't. They will just calmly say, okay, let's look at the numbers and figure out how to make this bakery adventure actually happen. They ground your fire. Focusing your time on Capricorn energy this week will make you feel completely understood and safe.
On the flip side, the charts show your worst match for this very busy week is a Sagittarius.
Yes, avoid the Sagittarius.
Now, the strong sky energy makes you want to move super fast and take big risks, but the Sagittarius just wants to stay safe.
Totally mismatched.
On April 15th, when the moon is in Aries, your direct, fiery way of speaking might easily hurt their sensitive feelings. They will try to slow you down, which will just make you angry and make you feel trapped.
It is a bad dynamic right now.
The clear advice here is to keep a polite distance from Sagittarius this week to avoid silly fights and stress. But hold on, I have to ask about this because it feels backward.
How so?
Usually when people talk about astrology, they think of a Sagittarius as the wild, fast, globe-trotting adventurer of the zodiac. But the charts show a total flip this week. The Sagittarius wants to stay home and play it safe, and the Virgo is the one driving the fast car. How does that even happen?
It is a great observation, and it proves why we have to look at the weekly charts and not just rely on general personality stereotypes.
Okay.
The current chart movements uniquely impact different signs in completely different ways based on where the planets land in their specific sky map.
Right.
While the Aries planets are lighting a massive fire in your chart, pushing you, the Virgo, to be brave, loud, and active, those exact same planets are hitting a much more hidden, quiet part of the Sagittarius chart this week.
Oh, so the same energy creates a different result depending on where it lands.
Yes. For a Sagittarius, these planets are moving through a section of their chart that rules endings, rest, and retreat. They are going through a temporary phase where they desperately need safety and quiet. So your speeds are completely mismatched. You are running at 100 miles an hour, and they are trying to put on the brakes and go to sleep.
So if you, as the fast-moving Virgo, try to force the Sagittarius to match your speed and come out on an adventure, your fast words will seem very harsh and mean to them.
Exactly.
And their need for safety will feel like a heavy cage holding you back.
Exactly. It is nobody's fault. It is just bad cosmic timing. So the best strategy is to simply smile, keep a polite distance, let them rest, and spend your free time with the Capricorn instead.
That is incredibly helpful to know. It saves so much drama at work and at home.
It really does.
Okay, we have covered so much ground today. Let's wrap all of these massive emotional, mental, and physical shifts of the week into simple, practical tools you can carry in your pocket every single day.
Time for the toolkit. We are opening up your cosmic toolkit. The charts give us very specific items to focus on to help you stay balanced. Your color of the week is brown. Your lucky numbers are 6, 11, 19, 26, 32, and 38.
Good numbers. And your best dates to take action are April 14 and April 18. Now, brown is such an interesting earthy color. How can our listener actually use this color or these lucky numbers to stay balanced when things get crazy and lightning is striking this week?
It is all about giving your brain physical, visual reminders. Because your mind is going to be racing with all that Mercury and Aries energy. You need anchors to bring you back down to earth.
Okay.
Engaging with physical things balances out the overwhelming air and fire elements dominating your chart right now. Brown is the ultimate color of the earth element. It represents dirt, tree trunks, stability, and deep roots.
So what do? Paint their room brown?
Oh, no, nothing that extreme. I suggest simply wearing brown shoes this week.
Just brown shoes?
Yes. When you are in a meeting and you feel your mind spinning out of control with fast ideas, just look down at your brown shoes. Remind yourself that your feet are planted firmly on the ground. You are safe. You are stable.
That is so simple but so effective.
You could wear a brown jacket or even just keep a smooth brown stone on your desk. When you touch it, let the physical weight of the stone calm your racing thoughts. It brings you back to the present moment.
I love that. What about the lucky numbers and dates?
The dates are incredibly useful for planning. We talked about April 14 being the day Mercury connects with Uranus to bring sudden, brilliant ideas.
The lightning bolt ideas.
Right. So if you need to schedule an important meeting or send a big pitch email to your boss, schedule it for April 14. Let the lightning work for you.
And the 18th?
April 18th is the day right after the massive new moon. The energy is still incredibly fresh and powerful, but a little more settled than the 17th. So it is another great day to take a chance or sign a contract.
And the numbers: 6, 11, 19, 26, 32, 38.
You can use these when planning out that new budget we talked about with Pluto. Maybe try to save exactly $38 extra this week, or schedule your new gym workout for the 11th hour of the day.
So just finding little ways to weave them in.
Yeah, they are small patterns that align your daily routine with the positive geometry of the charts.
That is brilliant. Just
Yeah.
small, easy ways to align yourself with the universe. You don't have to change your whole life. You just use these tools to ride the wave.
Exactly. And as we close out this reading, I want to leave you with one deep question to ponder as you walk through this week.
Okay, let's do it.
We've talked a lot about action today. We have talked about lightning storms, starting new businesses, asking for promotions, and moving fast.
So much action.
But with all this fast energy pushing you to conquer the world and speak up in meetings, what if the bravest, most powerful action you take this week isn't starting a new business at all, but simply sitting still long enough to finally heal that old hurt?
Wow. That is a truly powerful thought.
Yeah.
It completely changes the way we look at bravery.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the hardest battle isn't out there in the world, it's the quiet one inside of us.
It really is.
You have an immense amount of power and potential for the days ahead, Virgo. Remember to use your notebook to catch those fast ideas. Buy things that hold lasting value, and above all, be gentle with yourself when you need to heal.
Take care of yourselves.
We sincerely thank you for joining us and listening to this episode on Horoscope TV. We want to be right here with you every single week as the planetary charts shift and change, helping you navigate your life.
We will be right here.
So please make sure you subscribe to the show so you can instantly get notified when the next weekly episode is available to guide you. Take care of yourselves out there, keep your feet on the ground, and we will see you next time.